Hey, hey, hey. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Mr. Hydration Station. Today is the Performance Wednesday, and we will be having Nick Sky come on with us. But first, I got to give you guys some shout outs from our sponsors. First of all, DJ Slim, if you want any kind of events, you want to DJ for any events, you want to host for any events, you want music and sound for your bar on a Saturday, Friday, even a Monday or Tuesday or Sunday, make sure you call DJ Slim at 815-257-2601. Again, that number is 815-257-2601 for DJ Slim. I also want to give a shout out to Allie Ann's. Allie Ann's, I will be performing there April 11th. I believe I will be there from noon to 4, I believe. It's an earlier performance. That's something I probably should have written down that I didn't write down. But either way, go out to any of their events. Allie Ann's, they have great food, great people out there. The energy is amazing. I love jamming out there. It's a really, really good time. Also, we're going to have TJ Cuttajar from, I believe, the Niagara Falls area. Or no, it's for sure the Niagara Falls area. I just don't know if it's Niagara Falls is where he's from. But anyway, TJ Cuttajar, he will be on here next Wednesday. Make sure you check him out. And next weekend, I should say, from April 1st to the 4th, I'm going to be performing at the Micklitz Spring Fling Festival down at Lake Vienna, Illinois. Make sure you go down there and you camp out with us. It's going to be a great time. I can't wait to go out there. It's always a good amount of a good energy that comes with being at those festivals. I love those festivals. Mick Mickers, I think is his name. He hosts the events. He's a great guy, a great energy to have around. He's always he's kind of like an old wise shaman, but he's awesome. He hosts the best festivals. So make sure you go out there from April 1st to the 4th at Lake Vienna. Also, July 15th to the 18th, I will be at Falls Fest 3.0. If you can't see it up here, let me just move this up a little bit. Boom, right there. That's Falls Fest 2.0. I'm going to be also at Falls Fest 3.0. I've been there since 1.0, and it's been a great time every time. People jumping out of planes. We have bonfires. We have performances, DJ events, competitions, things that you can get into. It's for fun for the whole family. I suggest going out there, especially if you want to go jump out of a plane. It's the most fun, exhilarating ride that you'll probably ever have. And July 24th through the 28th, a week after that, I'm going to be at Phoenix Fest over in Lake Vienna, Illinois. Again, at Lake Vienna. You got to love that campground. That's where they host the best festivals. Make sure you go out there and check this one out. Sugar Creek. That was the first music festival I ever went to. The guy who draws all that stuff, he gave that to me because he really, really enjoyed my performance and energy, and I'm proud to support it. His name is John Griffin, great guy. Everything here is a gift. Everything went back. So if you want something put on here, I will gladly put it up on my wall for you to. I don't know. I guess it's advertisement, but really it's more like appreciation. If I'm being honest with you, I really enjoy what I do here at the Mr. Hydration Station. And I hope you do too. I mean, you're tuning in, aren't you? So, without further ado, let's get Nick Sky on here. Make some noise if you're at home. Yeah? Yeah? All right. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Not too much, man. Been a while.
I am.
Last time
Yeah, it's been a minute, dude.
I had the August Burns Red show last year.
Oh, dude, that was such a great show.
It was.
Dang.
I didn't recognize you at the time. I talked to you after Facebook or something. It's like, oh, that was you. At the time,
Yeah.
Like, how do you know my
name? It's all gravy, dude. It's all gravy. But anyway, how are you doing today, man?
Been pretty good. Been on these Army orders for the last 11 months now. So.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. How's that going for you?
Pretty all right. Definitely could be worse things to be doing in the Army. I mean, they're having.
Absolutely, man. Dude, that's awesome. All right, so why don't you give my listeners a little backstory on how you came up? We'll get to the music in a little while, but why don't you give us a little bit on who you are as a person?
All right, so my name is Nick Sky. I've gone through many a genre change over the years, but I started playing music as a classical bassoonist when I was 12. And then I started playing folk music underground while I was homeless back in 2015. I did that run for a little bit. Mainly 2017, 2018, 2019 is when I was playing all over the Chicagoland area doing that, opening up for Danny Warsnop, Dayshell, Funeral Portrait, a whole bunch of people. And then earlier this year, I started writing some heavier music, delving into more topics that I had done before. And I felt that a genre change was necessary for it. I kind of write the music how it comes out. So now I'm doing more of a hard rock and metal thing. Still doing it all solo with the assistance of some excellent studio musicians this time around and producers that I'll credit them right now. Chris Smith and Alex Jasiak. Would not have been possible to make this record without them. And yeah, just been doing my own thing for a while now. Continuing on doing it with a new Era EP that just released on, check my calendar, last Monday.
That's awesome, man. Hey, I appreciate your music, man, especially when you send me those tracks.
Thank you.
All right, so obviously you said you went through a whole array of genres that you've been through, which I am 100% a support of. I think people should absolutely reach out of their original genres or the things that got them into it in the first place, just because it doesn't hurt to have new flavors and new spices to what you bring to the table. Yeah. So you said you started out as a bassoonist. What made you want to become a bassoonist in the first place? Or was it something that was put on you by your parents and kind of like, having you reach out a little bit?
So it was partially put on to me by my parents, but partially just I was running out of time to pick an instrument for high school or for junior high, and I was like, I don't know, that one, I guess. Want to pick something different.
Nice.
With it. There's no real to bassoon. They don't usually have you play clarinet first. There's here, take this thing, and I'm like, this is taller than me. And I'm like, we'll roll with it, I guess. And I did that for a while. I did pretty much as many state and regional events as you can with it for as small town competition goes. And I still play bassoon. I do it for college bands, or did before I got in these orders, and then gonna be finding my local ensembles. If you listen to the folk albums that I put out, I put some bassoon stuff on it before. I'll figure out a way to work it into metal.
That would be cool, man.
And yeah, I started doing that, and then taught myself various instruments over the years. I think bass was the next one, because I know bassoon and euphonium were my first, so I was doing classical. Then I taught myself bass because I wanted to learn a stringed instrument, and I was like, I don't know, bass, I guess. So I taught myself bass, and then when I was homeless in 2015, I learned ukulele like everyone else does when they start playing folk punk.
I love ukulele.
I figured out that no one wants to listen to ukulele music all the time, myself included. So I learned guitar and just been rolling with it ever since.
So as a bassoonist, because I'm really interested in this, is there a bassoonist in particular that maybe you looked up to?
There aren't that many bassoonists.
No.
In general, not very many people play it. For solo bassoonists, I wouldn't be the person to ask because they're kind of hard to find. As far as bassoon pieces that I respect for people that write for it, everyone references Peter and the Wolf, everyone references The Rite of Spring, are all excellent bassoon pieces that you find. I just love her classical music in general. Finding an actual bassoonist, you'd have to ask someone that's a classical player more than anything. My teachers would be able to tell you. I don't have any bassoonists in particular that I look up to. I mean, the late great Barry Ellis from University of Wisconsin-Platteville taught me a lot of stuff, but he was their music professor for a while, so he'd be the one that I looked up to, I guess, as a player. But I never really heard the guy play. He was just more of an influence.
Oh, really?
As far as music. Whenever I saw him, he was always doing band teacher stuff instead of or conducting instead of actually playing. I knew he could play, but he never really heard him play.
Oh, okay. Well, dang, that's so pretty cool that he was able to import that knowledge in you without actually having to show you. That's got to be someone who's got mad skill, though.
Oh yeah, conductors are I find more influence from conductors than anything in the classical sense. Because
nice.
Playing it all, it depends on what ensemble you're in. And I know if I start going off in classical music, all the actual classical players will be like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm like, you're right.
Screw him. So, okay, so obviously you're into composers. Do you have a favorite composer?
Honestly, it varies, and I'm gonna like commit the classical music sin of not remembering who this guy's name is, but
That's how it goes, right?
it's not how it goes. Aaron Copland. There we go. I had to I remember the piece name. That's my one of my favorite all time pieces. Appalachian Springs, obviously. Excellent bassoon part, by the way. He likes to make us struggle, but
Yeah. Nice.
but I was like Appalachian Springs. I love it. I love the composer. I've played his opera, and it's like, what's his
Right? What's his name? What the fuck
name?
is the name?
Incorporates a whole bunch of folk music into his work. Appalachian Springs is full of American folk music. So is his opera, whose name escapes me. I'm bad with names. You'll learn this. But I
Right, right. Hey, who isn't? Who isn't?
played for, I think it was one of the, if I remember correctly, it was either North Central or one of the Aurora community colleges. They did Copland's opera, his one and only one. There's a reason he only worked once because he wasn't very good at it. But he was excellent at writing everything else except the opera. The opera makes no sense whatsoever.
Oh yeah.
More so musically than anything. The amount of times that you go through that is like, hey, this is in 3/4, but he actually meant 5/8, and
Nice.
you're gonna play this. Just do not pay attention to any of the writing or the notes. Just follow the keyboardist for the whole 2 hours. It was like, okay,
Damn, that's a long ass time to be playing. But hey, that's the classical shit, right?
yep, that's the classical stuff. He is it's a great learning experience to play that opera. Whereas it's like you're used to just following music the whole time whenever you do classical and just kind of rolling with it. Once you learn the ensemble, once you learn the everyone else that you're playing with. But that one, it's like the music it's a guiding post, more of a suggestion than anything.
Nice.
Playing rock music when you're playing a whole opera, different story.
Right, right, right. Absolutely. I agree with that. I haven't ever played anything classical. I've wanted to when I was a kid, but because I moved so late into my hometown, well, not really my hometown, but what I consider now my hometown. I moved so late into Streeter that the music teacher wouldn't allow me to join it because we had already started sixth grade. I moved here when I was in sixth grade, and it was like I think in the winter time, so it was like the spring semester that I came in, and because I had come in spring semester and not the fall semester, he said I couldn't join the band. But I've always had a great appreciation for it, and I have made it a point to go out to see um, these orchestras in their performances. But man, it is so hard to stay awake sometimes.
Yeah, if they don't pick like a good variety of music that'll keep people engaged, and you're not like a classical music fan that recognizes stuff all the time, you're trying to to bring the average listener in. You kind of not you don't always have to play the movie music and everything, but just pick a set list or something.
Right, right, yeah, get some flavor in there.
Yeah, put a little bit of flavor in there. I mean, me and you were both used to playing like 3 hour sets, and you got to mix
Yes,
it a little bit. And the classical
absolutely.
it's still a 3 hour set, except you only get like 7 songs to pick from, so you better pick right.
You ain't lying, dude. So, have you ever thought about writing your own orchestra?
I have had the idea for a while, and eventually I will get around to it. But I want to do classical compositions of certain albums that I like.
Nice. That's a. I really like how you kind of take these. Like would it be called a cover? The way that you do these, because you kind of like rearrange everything, and then when you present it, it's something unique.
Yes. So like the last cover I did was the Juice World one, and I did not go. I did not listen to Juice World until after he died. I listened to him like once, like when everyone else I heard Lucid Dreams, and at the time I didn't think he was going to be anything. And then his career only lasted like 2 years, and then he died. And then I started delving into his work, and I was like, oh, this guy's actually really good. And I didn't go into the studio intending to cover that song. I went in intending to cover Mac Miller.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was going to do, because I've covered Good News at shows before like back when we played shows, but I've covered Good News before, and I was going in intending to do that one. And then I got into the studio with Alex, and we're hashing it out, and it's like, this isn't really working. Let's see what else we can do. Like, okay, Juice WRLD maybe? And we went over a couple songs, and most of them were done already. So we had to pick one that no one had already released a cover of, no matter if it was popular or not. It's like, because the one you were gonna do, Come and Go, I think that's what it's called, and that one had already been done. Not very popularly, but it had already been done. It's like, let's do something different. It's like, why not this one? Never heard the song before, but we just started jamming it out, and it worked. And
Nice, dude.
anything in there. We recreated everything. There's a little bit of synthesizer, but a lot of those things that sound like samples are just things that we played on guitar.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah. So going into that the whole you working in the studio thing, you've been doing that for a long time now. I mean, ever since I've known you, you've been working and recording your own songs and tracks.
Yes.
What made you want to do that in the first place? Was it just how like how you would have control of it, or was it just wanting to record other people? I mean, what was the whole thought process going into learning how to record your own track?
So going into recording music in general, or just like, I first met you back when I was in college for audio back at University of St. Francis in 2017 or so, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 2017.
I went into audio as a career path because just getting into music and falling in love with it, being a bassoonist, I was like, I want to do music for a living. I have no idea how, but I know that bassoonists don't make that much money. Or if you do, you like there's like 10 positions professional bassoonists in the United States. Like, you better not do anything else.
Right.
And I was like,
damn,
do that because I'm good, but I'm not like that good, and I don't like it that much. Not like dedicate my entire life to it kind of thing.
Right,
so,
right.
What can I do in the music industry that at least has viable career options? I'm like, I don't know, I can play with microphones. So I went into college and like, yeah, let's do audio. And I had that plan for a while. I've had my own recording gear since I was like 16 or so, and just bought everything ahead of time. Was teaching myself how to do it before I got to college, and went to college.
Nice.
I was still gonna have to teach myself how to do it, so I just kept going with it. And recording my own music, it started as a creative control thing where I'm just like, how can I future-proof my own project? Like, what usually causes bands to have problems, and how can I avoid that? It's like, well, I can avoid and cut costs too. It's like, I can avoid having problems.
Oh, absolutely.
Disputes over music by just not having other band members, which sounds difficult to begin with. Then there's like, well, I know how to play most of these instruments, or I can learn. So I taught myself,
right,
and learned down the road that you can hire other people instead once you have a little bit more income on your hands. And that was like, well, I need to write all this music too, so I can maintain control over it. It was like, okay, and then how can I record this myself? And I was recording it myself for a while. I did the first 2 albums all myself. I produced them, I mixed them, I mastered them, did everything on my own. Even tracked it without an engineer most of the time, where I just like set record like a minute ahead of time on the DAW, run to the booth and wait for it to kick in and hope I got it right.
Nice.
That's how I did most of Happy / Sad, but didn't do that this time around, because this time I was like, okay, I got something special here. Let me actually make it really professional. And by really professional, I actually just hired a producer that works out of his room, and just because I found someone that I vibe with well, that being Alex. So we tracked everything in his bedroom. Just the miracles of modern technology. There we go. That's the words. And
right.
There, like, you've listened to the record, at least parts of it. There's no real guitar amps on any of that.
Oh, wait, what?
That's all amp modeling.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's all.
Damn.
All of it's amp modeling, all of it's guitar. And the same thing with the bass. We tracked with his studio bass. There's no real bass amps on there. There's no real drums either. All that's programmed drums.
Holy shit, dude.
So
Whoa.
if you find people that know what they're doing, or you know how to do it yourself, which is a combination for both of us, for all of us, you can crank out a professional sounding metal record without ever hitting a studio.
Isn't that crazy how far technology has come?
It's insane. Like 20 years ago, Pro Tools was a barely functioning program.
Yeah.
Now we can MIDI in all these drums and make them playable too. Chris is a monster. He can drum circles around me. I hired him because like I've been on the road doing these army orders. I don't have time to get into the studio to drum. So I was like, "Can you just track them for me?" And it's like, "I'm gonna program the MIDI and see how you like. If you don't like it, then I'll just record them live." I'm like, "Okay, cool. That sounds good for me," because I was originally against MIDI drums.
That's fair.
And to me, I was like, "That sounds perfect. What did you do?" He's like, I'm just good at this." I'm like, "Okay." Yes, Jason, I am on Facebook. You can find me on my Facebook page. However, I don't really post there because Zuckerberg doesn't like me posting on there. If you like, if anyone's marketing on Facebook, you know you got to put ad money behind it if you want it to get seen by anyone.
Right.
If you want to follow the stuff I made, I am on every streaming platform that does exist. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. There'll be more stuff coming out that we'll plug later on. But mainly, if you want to follow the music, just go to your local streaming platform or iTunes, and I am on there.
Shout out to Jason. Jason, thanks for tuning in, my brother. Appreciate you, my man. So I do want to ask you, out of all the albums you've created and made or been a part of, what would you say is your favorite and your least favorite, and why?
Songs or records? The records is pretty easy.
All right, let's go with records and then songs.
Records. This one's my favorite I've worked on so far. It's my most fun to play live. It's definitely the most personal I've gotten with a record so far, to the point where I'm following it up with a concept record, and where I have to like go even more personal. I'm like, I don't even like writing this stuff.
Damn, bro.
It's gonna, and I'm planning 3 parts to it too. It's gonna be like deep inside the minds of Nick Sky, but
Nice.
That's gonna be a fun record to write alone play. But this is my favorite one I've done so far, musically and lyrically. Definitely, I consider myself more of a songwriter than I do a musician half the time. Like songwriting is where I really get to nerd out and like go lyric by lyric and all that kind of stuff. So that was,
You know, a lot of people don't ever kind of think about that. They just think you can play a guitar and you can write a song, but they're two very different things that you go after, and two very different paths.
there's a reason there's different jobs in Nashville for both of those things.
You, my friend, are correct.
Yep.
All right, least favorite.
Least favorite, my first record. Like I had a lot of fun doing that one, but I look back on that and I was like, oh, there's potential here. Didn't know at the time what to do with this. And like this record, I may go back and reference those songs in the future and use them for something else. Like there is a song on this record that was redone from Happy/Sad, which by the way, none of those early records are on Spotify anymore. I removed them during the rebranding.
What? Why?
Because it doesn't fit it doesn't like if you're going and you're learning about Nick Sky and you see my live show now where I'm just playing like solo metal and just yelling at people, starting mosh pit, and then you're just like, oh, I wonder if he's got more music other than this EP. And then you turn on Happy/Sad and it starts with like this Weezer ass guitar riff and singing.
Oh, come on, man. All right. Well, I understand your thought process, but as a fan of music, I feel like it would be a good idea to have it out there.
It still is out there. It's just not on Spotify. It's
all right.
You can find it if you want to hear my old music and actually go purchase it. You can. Well, my merch store still has hard copies of Happy/Sad, or it's on nickskyandhisoldmusic.bandcamp.com. So I put it out there because I know some people still listen to it, and I was like, I can't delete this from the internet entirely because some people still like this, and I still like it. But for the new direction I'm taking the project in, it's like I was like I have to go all in this or I'm not going to keep it serious.
That's fair. But I always had to keep my projects separate from each other. So like I wouldn't like that fan base would stay over there and that fan base would stay over there.
Yep.
You know, and if they ever wanted to merge, they could always cross over. But at the end of the day, I definitely wanted them to be separate. So I understand.
I had a similar idea. It's like either I have to pick a new name for this, or I have to for this new project, or I have to just remove all this stuff. And I'm learning more and more that in modern branding as far as music goes, you can't just have like a band. Especially if you're a solo project, you are the band. Like the music is part of it, but you're also the product.
Absolutely, yeah. I 100% agree with that. So in your transition towards a heavier metal music, and I know I had asked for the songs too, but since we're on the topic, I wanted to go into this. Don't you find that the energy in getting out there and screaming in people's faces and starting these mosh pits is just almost like seductive to the point to where like you just want to keep on doing it in terms of like the metal music?
Very much so. Like metal is its own thing. Like I love folk, I love all that kind of stuff doing it, but it's a different vibe it shows. Like folk, you get inside your own head a bit when you're playing, because a lot of the time, at least for that music, people aren't really paying attention to what you're saying as much. Same thing goes for metal, but they'll figure that out later when they listen back to it, and it shows they just kind of want to vibe out. With metal, it's like, I am going to make you feel exactly
Yes.
and you're gonna like it. You just don't know it yet, but I'm going to make you. It's like you don't have this matter, and that's the whole thing, which is so fun.
I felt the same way when I was in Torn by Tentacles, man. It was
Yeah.
there's like, don't get me wrong, I love getting up there with an acoustic guitar and like jamming music and even jamming songs that people know, or jamming my originals that people like do their own moves to. I have this song called Superhero that my buddies made a dance to, because well, not really a dance, but like a motion where I say, I could be your knight in shining armor, and they do like puff their chest out, or I could be your samurai, and they pretend to have a sword and they do this. And like, don't get me wrong, that's fucking awesome to do while I'm up there singing that, but that energy doesn't compare to me getting out in people's faces and shoving them and starting mosh pits and screaming at the top of my lungs, like to the point to where my head hurts and like the whole crowd's going nuts over it. Just no comparison for me.
Right, like if you want to just go like full in on the emotional depth of the song, you can do that in metal. If you do it in folk, you kind of get kicked out of the bar.
Damn.
It's like, why are you up
there? Right? What was wrong? Oh, like, shit, my bad.
If you're up there being like, Jesse, why don't you love me anymore? Then
you Oh, man.
I'm sure my hotel guests love me.
Oh, here we go. We got another comment from Jason. He says, I could not find this guy on YouTube or Vimeo. Is it Vimeo or Vimeo?
I'm not sure.
I don't know how to say that. You guys are right on, though. I agree with pretty much everything you've been saying.
I am on YouTube.
Absolutely.
YouTube channel itself, no. If you search, like, see if I can find myself here. If you have YouTube Music, then yes.
Wait, how does that work?
YouTube Music is their streaming platform.
Oh.
If you find my videos, I have not made my YouTube page yet. I have a music video coming out that I need to get on top of for that. Me and YouTube.
Oh, 100% you should.
So I haven't uploaded my videos there yet. If you want the video version of it, I am on BitChute, I'm on Rumble, I'm on Odyssey, I'm big into the alt tech thing, so I'm getting ahead of that.
Nice.
Most of my videos go to BitChute. However, with this new music video that's coming out, there will be a YouTube alternative, because like I spent money on this music video, I'm gonna put it everywhere, even if I.
Hey, you got to, man. You invested, my man.
Yep. But yes, if you go to the YouTube Music app, then you should be able to find me. I don't have YouTube Music, so I don't know exactly how it works, but it should be there.
I recorded a music video, I want to say 2018. Yeah, 2018 or 2019, I recorded one. And man, it looks really good. But like every time I share it, it seems like it's like there's disinterest in it, or maybe people don't want to look at it. I don't know how to, like when I go to live shows,
yeah,
or when I play live shows, I should say, and everyone in the bar is having a good time. Everyone's enjoying themselves. I connect to people.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like sharing my music videos, because I only have 2 music videos, and one of them I didn't share for the longest time because I just did it. I wrote the song about an ex, and me and the ex had a really terrible breakup. So I was just like, oh, why did I do that? But it's out there. So, whatever. It's out there. That gets more views than the song that I like. And I don't get it.
That's the curse of musician. Like, I've found, I don't know if it's always consistent, but the song that we like to play the least live is always the most popular.
Dude, that is so true. That is so true.
Whether it's intentional or not, like whether we don't like the song because it's popular and like, oh my god, I have to play this song again. Why does someone keep requesting Wonderwall? But or something. But
every time, dude.
But whether we don't like it because it's popular or just because fate, like whatever. Like my most popular song before I did the rebranding was Butterfly. I really got tired of playing Butterfly, and I'm probably gonna rebrand that song too because it's still good. So I'm gonna just getting ahead of cursing myself in the future. I was like, I know I'm gonna have to bring this song back. The one I brought back from Happy Sad was Flowers because I was going through the lyrics and the story of that song. It's like this didn't get its full attention, and
right,
so
right.
in the studio,
I feel that
completely rewrote it. So it's entirely different now, and that's the song that got the music video.
Nice, dude. Way to stick your old stuff into your new stuff, rebrand it. I've always been a big fan of Linkin Park, not only for how they approached their music and having everything, but also for the Reanimation album. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of like going back into your old songs and just maybe tweaking a little shit.
That album changed a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it did.
Like I'm working on just being in this hotel room. Like the Army's not working us too hard right now. Tell the taxpayers, but
damn,
they're not working us too hard right now. We have a good amount of free time, and or at least this part. Like earlier on these orders, it was way crazy, and I expect it to get crazier as we continue to go on. Just right now, it's not that busy, and so we've had a lot of free time. So I'm working on other stuff. Like right now, I'm working on doing a long form album by album documentary of certain bands. I'm starting with The Devil Wears Prada and going forward.
Oh shit, that's pretty cool.
Like I got the idea, like I did, it's not original. I took it from a YouTuber / boot shooter named Razorfist who does this for a whole bunch of 80s thrash bands. Where he did one for Queen too that's like 50 minutes long. It's like album by album, break down every single thing, how this changed along the way. And I was like, I can do that, but for modern bands that haven't gotten the credit they deserve. Like the Devil Wears Prada started like 3 subgenres and abandoned them all right away. And
hey, that's how you do it though, right? Like I said, it doesn't hurt to go into different genres. It don't.
That whole cringy scenecore thing, they popularized it and then abandoned it before it even got off the ground. They were 4 years ahead of every other band in the scene. And if you watch old interviews of those bands like Motionless in White, Memphis Mayfire, whole bunch of those other bands, there's like, yeah, we want to be like Prada, but they can never be like Prada because Prada's always
right.
By the time Prada started a new genre, they had already just moved on from it, and they're still doing it. I don't know how.
True that, man. I appreciate a band that has like solid longevity. Yeah. Like solid longevity. There's bands that still tour playing the songs that they played when they got big back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, but I appreciate the bands that like kept it going, kept the progression going, kept it like changing. Like Linkin Park. I mean, Linkin Park is obviously one of my favorite bands, but to see them start like the way that they did was like harder and then go into like this like pop, synth, hip hop, like mold that they made is a beautiful thing to me because they didn't just stick with their original stuff and they could always dip back into that bag if they want to.
Yep. You either have to continuously be progressing and like changing a little bit while remaining somewhat consistent, or do what August Burns Red did, which was find their niche and find what they were really, really good at like 15 years ago and then never change but just keep getting better at it. Like every August Burns Red album is better than the last one for the most part.
Oh my god, that was such a great show, dude. Holy fuck.
I still was in that pit though. I was on the just because I'm going to die. I'm in relatively okay shape. It was like I'm gonna die in there, so I stayed on the pit wall the whole time. But like they found their niche back at the Messengers album. They have not changed it, but they've gotten better at it.
So my buddy, the one that brought me out there, he was like, "Here, hold my beer." And he gives her his beer, takes off his shirt, gives it to his girl, and just dips, runs right head first into the fucking mosh pit. And I was like, "What the fuck, dude?"
We're gonna see him again for the show. Like I've been.
He came back with a bloody nose.
Right, like when I'm seeing those older bands now, it's weird calling August Burns Red older, but
Yeah, that is kind of
it's
weird.
like, I just want to see them play, just because like they have excellent musicians. Jake Luhrs is debatably the best vocalist in metal right now.
Dude, that dude was good, real good.
Like,
I'm a fan of Nothing More's singer, but I do appreciate his vocals though.
Nothing More as singer is give them time and he could be a legend. He is
Oh yeah,
really good.
he's
But
dude,
if you
really
heard
good.
the cover of Chop Suey, he's also singing on that.
Wait, what?
They covered Chop Suey.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And he's doing the singing as well as the screaming.
Oh, I believe it, dude. He's
And
really fucking good.
Like, I hear his singing, I'm like, why didn't you incorporate this sooner? Like,
right? Well, some people don't know they have it, you know.
yeah, and they
it takes them a while.
Clean vocals in metal has always, or at least the metal core thing, even though it's been around the entire time, people get really butthurt about it. Like, remember how angry people got when Lamb of God put out that one song where Randy was actually singing instead of yelling, "We can't get metal anymore," and I'm like, they were never metal. They've been a hardcore band.
They were never metal. But no, I totally understand you. There are some like that's. I mean, don't get me wrong. The energy at metal shows is like just the highest of highs, I think.
Yep.
But the metal fan base is a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? Like they get real touchy about this stuff. They're real sensitive. They want to stay, you know. But like, man, most of the time these metal bands are just like real chill guys that just happen to love that heavy ass music.
I don't think I've met a metal band in person that wasn't like super chill. Like even when I met Danny Warstop, like Danny, when I opened up for him, he sings for Asking Alexandria, and
my bad.
But he sings for Asking Alexandria, obviously, and he was on an acoustic tour. Like, and after the show, he's the nicest guy. He runs a veteran-owned clothing company and everything out in California. Like, he got a little taste of America, and he just got hooked. Like, that's what happens when you find some sane British people and bring them over here.
All right, real quick. So Jason has 2 questions. Here's the first question. Have you guys heard about NFTs? What do you think about all that? And do you think NFTs are going to work out and be a good thing?
I just started hearing about them like a week ago, and I have not very much of an idea what they are. I have a very basic idea, and I know they're going for a lot of money right now. Like, so,
give me a rundown on what an NFT is.
I'm not entirely sure. I think it's.
I don't either.
Don't quote me on this if you're investing in these things, but the basic understanding I think it is like having a digital document, except it's coded on the blockchain to only exist in your possession.
So like Bitcoin?
Sort of like Bitcoin. So like Bitcoin exists on a blockchain type of service. So like instead of like your percentage of Bitcoin, it's like this digital object, like this picture, only exists. Like it's deleted everywhere else except on the blockchain, and you have it and you can use it.
That's kind of cool.
Which is a very interesting concept, and I have absolutely no idea if it's going to work or not. But a lot of people must think it is because Jack from Twitter and his Wilson beard, his first tweets just sold for 2.7 million.
What? Whoa!
Like it's
say that again.
To Jack, if I remember correctly, the NFT of Jack, the guy who started Twitter, his first tweets, which presumably might be the first tweet on the platform. I don't know. I don't like Twitter. Don't use Twitter. But like his first tweet just sold for 2.7 million. Let me check that real quick.
What the fuck, dude? So like what stops someone from screenshotting an NFT? Like you said, it's a picture, right? And you have it on your phone and someone screenshots it. Isn't that is that a loophole around it, or am I just dumb?
Idea. Okay, so it's a non-fungible token.
Wait, was that a non what?
A non-fungible token is an NFT. It also sold for 2.9 million.
Jesus, dude! One tweet. I need to get on that shit, dude.
Got bought by a blockchain
what the
company.
fuck?
It's like technically owns the digital certificates of the tweet. I had to do more research into this.
Yeah, I have to too. This sounds kind of
Honestly, there's
cool.
value
Like
in it.
I mean, even before the whole like 2.9 million sale that you told me about, I do like the fact that like you can take a picture and have it just be yours because like it's so easy to screenshot, it's so easy to take and copy. And then I mean, I do it myself as like a shit poster, meme, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know, I'll take a good meme and just post it myself. But
You
like people have done that to my shit too.
all over
You know,
memes.
it's just like an endless I take you give, I take you give kind of situation. Having an NFT sounds like you would be able to control that.
Yeah, it seems at least like for the very very little I know about it, it's kind of like they figured out a way. Like we always say, like once it's on the internet, it's there forever in some way. You can't get rid of it, which is what's made the internet great because it's gotten people to just pretty much not care, which is the adoption I take. Like people on the internet can come after you for anything that you do, so I just say what I want.
Dude, yeah, they do.
People to want the opposite direction where they just like hide in their box and they don't say anything, and I'm like, well, if people can come after me for literally anything I say, then I'm just gonna say whatever I want to say as long as it's truthful.
That's how I go about it, man. I have to be honest with how I feel
Yeah,
and
like
my
be
approach.
honest
Like
with yourself, I'm hiding my
censoring myself is just it's as pointless as I don't know. It's just fucking pointless. Like I'm not gonna lie about who I am.
I'm not gonna censor myself. I did that for way too long. I'm not doing it again. I'm like whatever the consequences may be. Like if they like because if the consequences work, I'm like, well, if you want me to censor myself or to work for you, then I don't want to work for you.
Exactly. Yo, I feel you there, man. I
And you
actually just walked away from a radio station for the same thing.
the very few times I've come across problems with it, as soon as you like actually stand up for yourself, they're like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that," and then they don't do anything, and I'm like, "Okay, cool. I guess we're fine then."
Right? I guess we're fine then. I ended up walking away. I just I didn't agree with the whole like supporting cancel culture thing. I was like, I'm not. You know what? Nothing against them. That's how they want to run their business. That's
Yep.
cool. But like, I can't be that guy.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm way too much of a free thinker to. I wouldn't say free thinker, but free believer.
Yep.
You know, I believe in people saying whatever the hell they want. I believe in people believing whatever the hell they want, and I don't ever want to support
Cancel
anyone that deters that in any way, shape, or form.
cancel culture only works if you care about it, so I just don't care about it, and then I
True
don't.
that, my friend.
And
True that.
there's an equal amount of people that will support you for not going along with that, as there will people that would go away from you for like the amount of people that would actually stop listening to you or stop supporting you or whatever because some people on the internet got mad at you for whatever reason. There's an equal amount of those people that will listen to you because of that. For you,
100%. I
so
agree.
well, just do whatever you want, and if people get mad at you for it, fuck them. Like
100%. All right, so let's move on to the next question. He says, "What singer were you guys talking about when we were talking about August Burns Red and Nothing More?"
oh yeah, the singer is Jake Luhrs, Luhrs question mark from August Burns Red. So I think he's debatably the best metal vocalist in the genre right now. That's always debatable though. Like it depends on like what we're talking about. If we're talking like clean singing, definitely not. So there's people that are better than him. As far as like consistency with metal vocals and being able to be like if he branches out on his clean vocals and he actually does that a lot more, then he could be debatable. I don't think anyone's arguing that many people are better than Corey Taylor right now though.
True. I mean, he's really killing it. Man, I gotta stop doing that.
Talents. He also has Slipknot money to pay for vocal coaches. So
Yeah, he does. 100%, man. And some of them coaches, they know what the fuck they're talking about, man. Their approaches are really, really nice.
they all have like the same coach too. Like everyone still goes through that. Like every screamer still uses the same coach because there's only like one of them. I forget what her name is, but she started doing Corey Taylor and then she did Randy Blythe and then she has some book called like the Tao of Screaming or something. I also can't scream at all. I'm not very good at it.
Right.
I
Me neither.
I've tried. I'm not the greatest.
I've always just kind of imagined how I wanted my vocals to sound, and then I just did my best to emulate it. And it's always worked for me. I don't know if I just have really good control of my vocals or what, but like if I wanted to sound like somebody, chances are I can sound like them. That's how I've always approached it. Like I didn't know that I could scream until Torn by Tentacles approached me and asked me to be their clean singer in the metal band.
Hmm.
And I said, yeah, sure, why not? I went and did it. I've never sang metal before, but I'll give it a shot. And then like as I'm in there and I'm listening to the songs in my head, because we didn't have any lyrics yet, I was writing the lyrics, but they gave me the tracks, and in my head I was like, right here would sound really good if it sounded like this. So I'd approach the metal singer, and he was kind of choppy, wasn't all that great. So we ended up letting him go, and then I ended up taking over the screaming, and eventually turned into three of us screaming, me still singing cleans. But what I did was I really just kind of imagined what I would want to hear on this track,
Hmm.
and then I did my best to emulate it, and I did it pretty well.
Decent. I like.
So
I've tried it. I haven't figured out like it's everyone. I've found that everyone just figures out their own way. Whenever I've asked people like, "Hey, can you like, how do you do this?" to approach vocalists that I respect, and it's like, I don't know, I just kind of do it, man. And I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna have to just figure out how to just like do it my own way. I just haven't figured that out yet. But like I can do almost 4 octaves of vocals, I think. So I've just been focused on getting that better.
holy shit,
Come.
dude, that's impressive. Damn.
So like I as a vocalist, I'm like I'm just gonna focus on making my clean singing really good instead of like taking time that I could be focusing on that into learning screaming, because like I can whenever I want screaming on it, I usually want another person anyway.
Right.
And
So
the song on this record must have screaming. It was a feature, and so I backtracked this feature.
oh, that's cool. Nice.
Yeah.
I do have some questions in terms of so I'd like to know what artists are looking forward in the future. What 5 years, 10 years from now, where do you want to be in terms of creating music, recording, performing, and really anything else?
So 5-10 years down the road, you'll have at least one concept record, and I've been searching for my brand, so to say, and I'm now just kind of figuring out that the brand is myself, and the brand is the story that I have to tell. Like I put out a video on it like a couple days ago where I talked about my experience with Munchausen syndrome by proxy, and I'm like, not very many people have that. And as weird as it's like marketing off my own tragic hashtag tragic backstory, where it's like I can maybe I can do some good here because I figured out while just trying to seek my own help for this that there's not that much information out there because most people that go through this don't get out. And so I'm like, I want to do a concept album about that, but I also want to use that and start doing video series on it, maybe do some speeches, write a book or two, and then also tie that into the music at the same time. So you'll get a concept album about my experience with Munchausen syndrome, which will be the first one, and then there'll be hopefully some sequels to it. I have the ideas in my head and they're being written. I think the record's about half written right now. And
Nice.
and I want to do like just in-depth music videos on it. Like things that you can really only get approved on a project when you're the only person in it.
Nice.
Half
I dig it.
being in a band. Like if you came up with that idea, it's like, hey, I want to tell my story and I want to write books about it and I want to make this whole feature of this project. And they're gonna be like, that's really great. No.
No, right. Hey, I've been there, man. I presented tracks, like tracks.
Yeah.
To Torn by Tentacles at times, and they're like, I don't know, it's kind of iffy. Like I understand, like they don't want me to have like written everything on the track. Everyone wants to be a part of it, but like, man, there were some tracks I wish I could have recorded with them because they're great musicians, but it just never came to fruition.
Yeah. And I'd love to do other projects. Like I see down the road eventually if we all have time with it, like me and Alex or me and Chris or me and whoever in the future might do a project together. But like when I was doing Nick Sky, like I said, the original idea with it was just a bit of freedom. Like if this Nick Sky is me, it's not exactly an alter ego because it's just me. It's the stage name.
I understand that.
But the and if I'm gonna do this, then I'm just gonna go all the way into it. And that's this. If I have this thing here where I can be like, I can do whatever I want with this because it's mine. That I'm gonna do
Absolutely.
whatever I want with it. I'm not going to let
So
the opportunity that I built pass me by on that side.
if you were to talk to an up and coming musician, someone who hasn't been around the block, like you or myself, what kind of advice would you give him in terms of performing and recording
First, don't
and
go to
promotion?
but as for
Don't go to college.
unless your job, that's just a young person advice in general. Unless your job that you're looking for in the future absolutely requires a degree and there's no way around it, college isn't worth it right now. It's too expensive.
You're not lying, man. You're not lying.
That's just math. That isn't like I've had multiple digs on colleges. I went back and forth to the University of St. Francis for quite a while, and that's a whole other story. But like politics of universities aside, it's just a math game. What other career field would you invest $100,000 to $200,000+ in for no guarantee of a return?
Dude, that makes so much sense.
And I wish I knew that 4 years ago. But
Holy shit, that makes an assload of sense, dude.
like,
Why would you invest that much into something that may not even happen? That's crazy.
Like if you go into a trade, they're not only going to train you and give you the education, they're going to pay you to do it too.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. I've seen people go and get like a job as a welder and make buku money.
Yep.
I'm talking about 25, 30, $45 an hour. People that work as a lineman making like mad money.
Yep.
And I just been like, damn, dude.
On these Army orders, I'd be doing that right now. Because right now, I mean, I'm 3.5 years into a degree. I'll finish it eventually, just to say I did it probably. And I've been working in my field for 2 years, making connections, just getting it done, working pretty much full time. Though college was limiting me on actually making a full-time earning on it. And I was looking at that, and about 2 years into it, I realized, wait, no one's ever asked me if I had a degree in this.
Yeah, it's true, dude. They don't. They don't ask.
And the degree programs I was in for audio never told me what I needed to know as far as this goes. So, musician advice: don't go to college, especially as a musician. It's not worth it. But unless you're just like really, really into jazz and you want to learn how to play jazz, just realize you're gonna better have the money. But
yeah, 100%, dude, 100%.
But performance-wise, just start doing it. Like play anywhere. Do what I did. Like I was driving back in 2017. I was driving an hour to play at like a cafe or something because it was a stage. I don't know who I'm gonna meet there, but you're probably gonna meet someone, and it's all connections in the music industry. It's very little about what you know. Like just in any career field, but especially in music. Like you're gonna meet people in the music industry that you're gonna be like, how did you get here? Because you're not good.
Dude, I don't want to be that guy, but man, I've seen that so many times.
Usually they're filling a need, even if they're not that good. Either they're reliable or they're available. As far as like working in the industry, like being stagehand or audio or just being crew, for lack of better words, be available. That's always what got me. Just be willing to take whatever gig when you're coming up. Like I will work this anytime. Just be available. Be willing to do whatever. Right place, right time, right uniform, as we were told. And gigs, as long as you're good and you don't suck. No,
I mean, even if you do, you got to at least try. I mean, there's plenty of I've from what I've noticed, there's a lot of musicians out there that I wouldn't consider great, but you can just see by the heart that they put in their performance that that's why they're here.
Yep.
And then there's some really just in general shitty performers, but for the most part, anyone that goes out there and gets on stage is usually, pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, no one's gonna look at Green Day and be like, "Wow, you guys are such great musicians."
But they're iconic.
But they're
iconic.
Oh, their brand, and they know how to do it, and that's
absolutely
putting people in stands.
Hey,
no one's
man,
come to Billy Joel and ask him to be a guitar wizard, though. No one coming up to me be like, Billy Joel, man, he really just wanted to make me learn how to be a virtuoso guitarist.
That dude's a genius, though. That dude's undeniable.
He knows who to put in his band.
I would agree with you with just going anywhere and believing in yourself.
Yeah,
just getting that there.
Like if you do not trust that you're good at this, you're not gonna be. That's the thing. But like, if you don't have the heart for it, don't do it. But if you have the heart for it, just push and just go all into it and act like this is your job. Like, if you show up to a gig, don't be that guy that gets wasted right away. Or like, if you're going there, just you're there to do a job. And we all we have great times. Like, I'm not digging on drinking at shows, but like, if you're there to be a performer, the way you're going to stand out is by being the person that goes up there, plays their set, and then networks the rest of the time.
One thing I've always told people whenever I go out is don't drink before you perform.
Yep.
You know, if you're gonna drink after. You know, drink in the celebration. Drink while you're talking to people. Drink while you're hanging out with people. Drink then. Don't drink before your performance, man.
Like,
that's not a good idea.
Impression in the world that is not only commonplace, but it's encouraged to be completely trashed at the workplace. You're gonna stand out by not being that guy. Take advantage of it. Like, you have the ability to stand out and be recognized for doing something that's entirely normal.
I know, right? That's true. All right, so I do we do have to get to the performance aspect. So why don't you give us a little preview on what you got coming at us here in a little bit?
All right. So let's sound check and make sure you can actually get tracked through. I'm pretty sure I set it up right, but I don't have my rack with me, so I kind of just winged it. So let's
that's the story of my life.
Was that playing?
Yes.
Cool. So it'll work. And hear that too, right?
Yep.
Cool, it'll work.
And that's not an amp, right? That's got to be an amp.
Most definitely not an amp.
That's not an amp?
Nope. Miracles.
What?
So if you looked at my pedal board right now, which I would show you, except my camera's attached to my laptop.
Right.
All my setup is, it's not like I'm not hiding it or anything. It's not like some secrets that I put together. I borrowed what everyone else did. It's a Tube Screamer clone into a bass compressor into a Helix Stomp.
Wow.
That's it. Like, it fits on a tiny pedal board. There's also a drop tune pedal in there, so I can switch between tunings.
Right.
And then one guitar and a mic. That's it.
Dude, I'm excited to hear this. All
right.
I'm gonna let you take the whole screen. All right. I'm gonna get myself out of it, but I'll be right here listening to you, brother. I promise.
How many songs?
Give me 3.
Cool.
All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Sky.
Check. Hey. Hello, guys. My name is Nick Sky. I'm going to play a little songs for you. Keep in mind, my voice is absolutely toasted right now. So if I suck, I suck. This song is called Life's a Mess. Oh, no. Have you ever fallen head over heels for somebody that made promises to give you the world? I really hope they held you down. I really hope there was no lying. Just when heart makes it feels like the world's gone. But if the love's real, you feel your sorrow like a lion, and you finally bygones be bygones. Don't throw in the towel. I know it feels like you're the only one trying. You just gotta learn to live and love on. I belong with the one, but I'm missing with me. Everybody has this someone just gonna look and see. I'm screaming out, Lord help me, I'm lonely. That's the only sound. Then you set me free. Sometimes life's so fast. I get happy, I'm upset. I remember with me and love it. Searching for something real, and I found it. Sometimes life's so fast. I get happy, I'm upset. I remember with me and love it. Searching for something real, and I found it. Fuck it now, but it's better now. Through the trials and tribulations, I found my way out. Feel I love the good and bad vibration all around me.
all around us, they surround us. Was it lost? Cause it's lost. Without any fire from danger, we just found my whole world. I said yeah, for the better. I but I'm just so everybody has their song. Just look and see. Oh, help me, I'm lonely. Thank God I finally found you. You put the light in my eyes when I'm around you. Too flawed to hold your temper, to let it be here alone. Thank God I finally found you. I put the light in my eyes if I'm around you. I'm too flawed to hold your temper, to let it be here alone. It's called Life's a Mess. This next song is called Flowers. Oh, it's been some time, but no memories that don't come. One day we'll see you again, but for now we're reaching for the answers. To the question of what did you do so suddenly? Someday we will find out. For now, all I know, this is our life. Now I'm laying my peace. Sometimes I still feel the pain go through. Now we know now. Oh, it's been some time, but no memories that don't go. One day we'll see you again, but for Flowers just smell like funerals to me. Flowers just smell like funerals to me.
Yo, bro. I really like that last song, dude.
Yeah, one more. This last song is called "Defeated." This
Absolutely,
is
dude.
Thank you. That's Flowers. That last song is called "Flowers." That's the one that's going to be the music video.
Hell yeah, dude. I just wanted to say that's some good fucking writing, man.
Dude, thank you.
All right.
Writing that one the first time, I was like, and back in the studio, I was like, I need one more song, and this one didn't get the chance, and then I did that, and I was like, that's why I wanted that song to be the first time.
All right, man. I get out of your hair. That was really good.
Thank you. This last song is called "Defeated." This is about my experience with Munchausen syndrome. If you like the message of this song, there will be a whole other album about it. My name has been Nick Sky. Check out A New Era Live, or A New Era. Saying the name of my Pro Tools session, man. A new Era, the EP, on all streaming platforms. If you like merch, I have merch at nicksky@bigcartel.com. This song is called "Defeated."
Inside of me will kill me if you give it the chance. What love you feel, putting up a front. I'm telling you that lying too. What you want. So drain the blood from my feet. Tell me I'm not over you. Love is not doesn't lie with destiny. So help me and tell me on the way. Take what you have. Left anyway, I'm running out of energy, and this is getting worse. So take the road from my face. Tell me thank you guys. So drain the blood from my face. Tell me I'm not okay. As long as I'm drain the blood from my face. Tell me I'm going up to you.
Thank you, Mr. Hydration Company.
Yo, dude, that song was even better. Holy shit, dude, that was great, man.
Everyone's looking to improve, and now I can.
Hey, absolutely, absolutely. That was amazing, man. Thank you so much for being on here. I appreciate you so much.
Hey, anytime. I'd always love to be back.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, why don't you give out some shout outs to whoever you want to give a shout out to?
Got it. So first off, shout out to my fantastic producer and drummer Alex Jasiak and Chris Smith. Please hire them. They're in need of work. I mean, they're doing pretty all right for themselves, but they can always use some more credentials under their belts. So please work with them. A new era. The EP is out now. Got the post-stage voice going on. Is out now on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, whatever you use. YouTube Music. Subscribe to the BitChute. That's where you're going to be seeing more stories. I just put out a story behind that song "Defeated," which you just heard. If you want merchandise, I have some merchandise to get rid of on my store before I restock for the EP's merch. So it's stupid cheap on there right now. So go pick some up. nicksky.bigcartel.com. And this shout out to you for hosting the show.
Hey, Mr. Hydration, baby.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on here, man. I appreciate you so much.
Anytime, man. Let's do it again.
Oh, do me a favor. Let people know where to find you on social media.
Oh, yes. Social media. So you can find me on Facebook, sort of. So I don't really post. You can on social media. The most active platforms for me right now is going to be Minds, BitChute, and occasionally, if I get on there, I have Gab, I have Rumble. Your alternative platforms is where you're going to find me the most. I'm not on Twitter, so don't look me up there. I'd get banned right away if I was. Facebook doesn't let me advertise too much, so Minds is going to be the big one for me. Minds and BitChute. Minds.com, BitChute.com.
You should send me those platforms, man. I'd love to try other avenues of approach.
I definitely will.
Awesome, man. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Nick Sky.
And
all right. Have a good one, brother.
Platforms.
Later, my friend. All right. That was Nick Sky. Dude, what a fucking talent that man is. Records, produces his own albums, writes everything, puts it all together. He's what is it? Jack of all trades, a master of none, or maybe he is a master. Who knows? But either way, make sure you look him up, Nick Sky, on all social media platforms. And yeah, thank you for tuning in, listening in. I just want to give a quick shout out to DJ Slim. Make sure if you want a DJ or any kind of entertainment at your parties, bars, or wherever you want to be, weddings especially, you contact DJ Slim at 815-257-2601. K Squared Imagery. He's actually the guy who came up with, he took this picture actually. I was playing at Riverfest over in Ottawa, Illinois, and he took that picture. And yeah, K Squared Imagery. That's actually his logo in the corner right there. You can't see it, but it's there. Anyway, Allie Ann's and Dwight, make sure you visit them. April 11th, it's a Sunday. Come have a Sunday fun day with me. I'll be out there performing, singing. Who knows? Maybe I'll even get you up there to do some karaoke. It'll be a great time. Next Wednesday, I'm going to have TJ Cuttajar on here. He's out of Niagara Falls, New York. Great musician, great performer, awesome energy to have. I can't wait to have him on here with us. April 1st to the 4th, next weekend, that's Miklet Spring Fling down in Vienna, Illinois. Go out there. Come on. It's going to be fucking awesome out there. Freaking awesome. I don't fucking care. And July 15th and 18th, Skydive the Falls Fest 3.0. That's them right there. That's 2.0 shirt. I was there for 1.0 and I'll be there for 3.0. So let's get it cracking. Come out there and join us. And then last of all, Phoenix Fest, July 24th through the 28th. Come out, hang out. All right, that's it. They're out of here. I got to go eat. Leave me alone. Get out of my face. I'm tired of this. I'm just kidding. I love this. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love y'all.